So some interesting new reporting from Amy Parnes right here at The Hill. She's got a bunch of Democratic strategists on record saying they are very nervous about the Biden basement strategy.
Shocker.
The Trump campaign has basically coined that term. They say, look, we saw Obama get on a plane at the convention and travel, and we thought, why can't Biden? Another one said, I know we all believe in science and building a contrast with Republicans on COVID. I get that. But no one I know is stuck at home. Folks are moving around. They're traveling. Some schools are reopening. I don't know how sustainable this is for Biden. I would actually dissent hard from these strategists and say the basement strategy has been golden for Biden. The less
I agree with you.
That he has, look, Democrats are vulnerable because they've chosen someone who basically cannot effectively campaign. But every time he does an interview, it's like, oh my God, stick with the basement. Why did you let him do this? So actually, less is more. Actually, his team is very smartly keeping him sort of locked down and very limited in terms of his appearances and interviews and the things that he does. And frankly, I think it is the best possible.
So it's hilarious because they are trying to create a mirror image, an image of Biden that does not exist. It's like, you guys chose this. This is what you got. You've got the basement guy. It does not get any better than this. It's over.
You nominated this guy.
You nominated him. He might be president now because of you. And the best part is that, you know who the counter programming is for tomorrow after Trump, or today after a Trump speech? Kamala. At 3 p.m. Yes. Going to give a riveting, rousing counter speech. Also, is the vice president now the presidential nominee giving the official counter speech to President Trump's speech? That's insane. That doesn't make any sense. That never happens. Why are you sending out Kamala Harris, somebody who could not win the Democratic primary, who could not even make it to Iowa, whenever Joe Biden is the so-called head of the ticket and the nominee?
Well, and frankly, I have to say, on the merits, Biden did a better job in his speech at the DNC than Kamala did.
Hers was terrible.
Kamala was, I thought the messaging was off. I thought the tone was off. I thought the delivery was off. I really imagined that if she just did a serviceable performance, the media would like melt down over it, right? Because they love her and they've always loved her from the very beginning. Even the media was just sort of like, let's talk about Barack Obama's speech.
She said this thing about racism, not having a vaccine, and that was great. And now let's move on.
Yeah, let's talk about Barack Obama because he slayed me, right? So even from that perspective, it's an interesting choice. But I just want to say, look, I get the temptation to be like, you got to get out there, you got to campaign. And there is Hillary 2016 energy of, you're not going and making the case in Wisconsin. You're not going and making the case in Michigan. Don't you need to do some of those things? But frankly, I think this is the best strategy that they have available to them.
Completely agree with you. It's just like in the early days of the pandemic with Liz Smith and was it David Axelrod and David Plouffe being like, he needs to get out. It's like, no, guys. You chose this. This is as good as it gets. You better hope and pray that it works because, as you're now finding out, pretty vulnerable to only have somebody like Kamala who can rebut Donald Trump's speech.
But hey, this was before the pandemic in the primary. This was his same strategy, and it worked. I mean, he did so much less than the other candidates, and it was reported on widely at the time. He got criticism at the time. It's not like people didn't notice it or know
People were like, he's lazy.
It ultimately didn't matter. So I don't see why they would change what they're doing here. It's the Alex Wagner thing of just stay alive, Joe Biden.
Hold fast.
Very inspiring messaging there. Tomorrow on Rising, friend of the show, Chuck Rocha, is going to join us to discuss the Latino vote, and our All-Star Friday panel is back. Roger Fisk and Marshall Kosloff will be here. You don't want to miss that.
All right, remember to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our videos, and don't forget to like and share as well. See you guys tomorrow.
Have a great day, guys.